look like five لأنه طلعت على مش عارفة
عايز سؤال؟
ما يبي عندي بس هذا السؤال.
أوكي. مرحبا دكتورة ناهد جواد.
أهلا وسهلا.
أهلا وسهلا بك في قناة لندن بالعربي. دكتورة ناهد، من أنت باختصار؟
اسمي ناهد جواد شقوف. أنا سورية. My mother is Syrian. والدي originally Iraqi, born in Algiers, so cocktail عربي. But I spent most of my adulthood in London since 2006. تابعت مسيرتي العلمية والمهنية بالعمارة في لندن. فتابعت دراستي الماجستير والدكتوراه، واشتغلت في مكتب الراحلة زها حديد، وهلأ عندي مكتبي الخاص Iraqi-Syrian. فأنا بحس حالي هيك collection of motherhood with architecture. فهي أنا باختصار.
جميل جدا ناهد. ناهد، كيف كانت النقلة من دمشق إلى بريطانيا؟ ما الذي دفعك لاتخاذ هذه الخطوة؟ كيف كانت؟ حدثينا قليلا.
بصراحة هي الخطوة كانت موجودة ببالي منذ الصغر. والدي ووالدتي تعرفوا على بعض في اليوكي. كانوا عم بيعملوا الدكتوراه تبعهم بالكيمياء بالانجلش ليتريتشر بيسكلي. سو هن تعرفوا على بعض هون. سو بابا دائما كان يتكلم عن تجربته في لندن. فبعتقد انا واختي يعني من عمرنا 6-7 سنين بنعرف انه نحن حنكفي دراستنا بالدكتوراه ونحن حنيجي على لندن. سو هي كانت شغلة كتير طبيعية بالنسبة إلي. فلما رحت على جامعة دمشق لأدرس العمارة كنت بعرف بعد 5 سنين هيدا المخطط تبعي. ما كنت بعرف كيف، بس كنت بعرف إنه هذا الشيء أنا عم بحاول أوصل له، إنه أطلع على لندن وأدرس بلندن basically.
جميل جميل. ناهد، ذكرتي زها حديد. من هي زها حديد؟ صفيها لنا. كيف كانت شخصية هذه المرأة؟ كيف وصلت إلى العالمية التي وصلت إليها وانتشرت تصاميمها في أكبر العواصم في العالم؟ أخبرينا.
هلا أنا تعرفت على زها عن طريق الكتب أول شيء. كنت أنا
كيف
يعني تعرفت عليها عن طريق كتبها، عن طريق الببليكيشنز تبعها. كنت روح على بيروت أنا وبابا لأن نجمع ريفرنسز من العمارة مشان مشاريعي. فكنا نطلع كتير كتب، بس كتب اللي كانت published by زها حديد Architects كانت كتير تلفت انتباهي تصاميمها. كانت صعب إني أفهمها. كانت out of this world يعني. فصار عندي فضول أعرف أكتر عنها، فصرت أجمع أكتر كتبها. إذا في أي مقالة عن زها حديد عم بقراها. فهي أول interaction إلي مع زها حديد.
كنتي فان؟
very big fan yeah. وأظن معظم طلاب العمارة من جيلي وحتى الأجيال القادمة كله fan of her. وبعتقد إنه فكان طموحي مو بس أطلع على لندن وأعمل دكتوراه، بس كان كمان عندي طموح كمان أطلع أشتغل بمكتب زها حديد. كمان ما كنت بعرف كيف، بس كان موجودة هاي الفكرة براسي وكان عندي إحساس إنه حتصير. فلما تعرفت عليها لزها ولما اجيت على مكتبها أني كنت محظوظة أنه اشتغلت بكذا مشروع هي كانت مهتمة فيه شخصيا. فاشتغلت معه ومع البارتنر تبع باتريك شوماخر اللي هو كان أستاذي بالماجستير. اشتغلنا على كذا مشروع I can see her dedication to her work و her ideas. كان عندها نظرة يعني رائعة ويونيك. وكانت كتير driven by her ideas لتحققهم. ما كانت تاخد no for an answer from anybody، لا structural engineer لا أي حدا. كان لما يكون عندها فكرة she would go for it. فكامرأة بالنسبة إلي اشتغلت معها إنه كانت big inspiration. Like very empowering for women to see other women that strong, that smart.
نموذج متفرد.
مظبوط.
ناهد، كيف تعرفتي على زها؟
basically سمعت إنه في بيروت مهرجان بيت الدين كانوا عاملين presentation باي زها حديد. so دغري واردتني الفكرة إنه هذا حيكون أقرب موقع جغرافي لإلي حتى أقدر اتعرف على زها حديد، لأنه زها حديد is based in London ما في مجال اتعرف عليها. فناقشت الفكرة مع with my mom and dad وقالوا لي روحي شوفي دوري على الانترنت شوفي كيف فيك تلاقي منين بيجيبوا التيكتس we will drive you there basically. اللي صار إنه on the same day my mom get a letter from an older friend that she heard إنه her daughter is into architecture and she had 2 tickets for us.
واو صدفة.
فكانت صدفة رائعة وأظن it was meant to be مثل ما بيقولوا. فأنا وماما أخذنا السيارة وطلعنا على بيروت. قبل ما أروح على مهرجان بيت الدين كنت محضرة كتير، قارية الكتب كتير، كنت محضرة سلسلة من الأسئلة اللي بدي أسألها إياهم. بس تفاجأت للاقي ال presentation is something else، ما أنا traditional presentation. كان في موسيقى، كان في صور لمباني هي عاملتهم مصممتهم، وكان في أشخاص عم بيرقصوا بطريقة كلاسيكية وبطريقة مودرن على المسرح، وفي مباني عم تنعكس على أجسادهم. وزها حديد إجت آخر شيء وقالت thank you. So for me it was mind-blowing, the whole concept of the presentation. So everything she did was so unique, even a presentation. It wasn't a traditional presentation. بعد ال presentation فتحوا الكورتيارد وكان كل العالم عم بيحاولوا يحكوا مع زها basically. فأنا كان بدي أطلب منها طلب إنه إجي أتدرب بمكتبة بالصيف، هذا كان يعني طموحي. وكنت كتير مترددة، كنت يعني بأول العشرينات وكنت كتير خجولة كشخص بهداك الوقت. my mom told me you have to do it yourself. أنا ما حأسأل شيء، أنت you have to go and ask for yourself. فعانيت لطلع صوتي كان زها تقول لي نعم وأنا حاول علي صوتي. So it took a lot of courage from me لأسألها. قلت لها أنا كتير معجبة بشغلك وأنا بحب أتدرب عندك بالمكتب، وأنا very driven و very hard working person. So we had a little chat وقالت لي إذا بدك تتعلمي مظبوط شو بنعمل نحن بمكتبنا لازم تشتغلي لمدة عام. 3 أشهر لا تكفي أبداً. فبصراحة هي حطت الفكرة ببالي إنه I have to go for more than 3 months. فقلت لها معناتها خلص بقدم بس خلص دراستي، لأنه كنت بالسنة الرابعة وضل لي سنة. So I wanted to finish get it out of the way، لأنه بالشام كان في يعني ندرس 5 سنين بعدين بنشتغل، ممكن نشتغل بالصيف بس ما بناخد سنة جاب مثل الجامعات في لندن. بعدين as I'm graduating I think زها كان عندها مشروع بالشام. she contacted me, she came to Damascus. I invited all my architectural professors. We had a nice lunch. We went to the Umayyad Mosque, and then I sent her my portfolio, and she was very firm when I told her I will send you my portfolio. She said if I don't like it, you are not getting in. So she was very strict. She was like, this is my office, this is my business, only competent people.
يعني كان حلمك على
المحك يا مظبوط. فالتحضيرات للبورتفوليو كانت عملية يعني 6 أشهر. I think ما شفت حدا، كنت قاعدة بالغرفة مع كمبيوتري، كل ما طلع فكرة بورتفوليو الغيه، بعد ما خلصوا وطبعوا ما يعجبني. I think I did 4 or 5. At the end I was inspired actually from one of her books. So she had this purple plexiglass kind of folder which has different pockets, different booklets, different sizes. So I decided to do something similar but with like something Damascene traditional. So I went to a lady actually in Aleppo that she was famous for doing these notebooks with Damascene and like Arabic fabrics. So I worked with her closely on how to do the binding for these books. So I came up with an idea that is very modern but has traditional materials. And this was my final portfolio that I applied to Zaha Hadid Architects with. It was like wood, very traditional wood engraved. The text was engraved in it, and it has different booklets. Each one of them was about certain subjects. So I had the portfolio, the main portfolio, and other small booklets supporting. And I was accepted based on that portfolio. And I moved immediately after I was accepted to London.
واشتغلتي معه؟
اشتغلت معه في مكتبة for 4 to 5 years. So when I joined, the office was about 50 people, and it was just jumping to 70 and 100. So when I joined, actually they just opened Studio 4. So her office was based in a traditional English school building, and there was different studios, so meaning different architects and different businesses. She had only 1, 2 or 3 studios, and when I joined they just took Studio 4. So when I actually went, they didn't have computers. They were like, come back in a week because we are still sorting so many people coming in. And I was like, no, I want to start today. They were like, trust me, go see London because you will be in here a lot. And they were right. So we were working like day and night there.
When you say you, we.
So basically I moved with my husband. So
Both of you.
both of us, yeah. So he's still working there. So yeah.
Okay. كنت تشوفيها كل يوم؟
She was in the office every day if she wasn't teaching or she was not on a presentation or she doesn't have a
وكيف كان حضورها؟
It was really how do I say, like the office will be like, oh my god, Zaha is coming. So she had a strong presence, I would say. Yeah, everybody wants to impress her basically. So everybody is on the best behavior. Always when she is in or not in the office, but mostly like when she is rushing in, we know like
رجال ونسوان.
yeah, كان كتير empowering actually to see how also men would react to powerful women. Like you can see them, you know, a bit stressed on their face. So it wasn't something that you see every day in any office. So it was very empowering I think for me and other ladies to see that we can actually be serious in our business, you know.
طيب أكيد شخصية زاها حديد أثرت فيكي. في شخصية تانية أثرت فيكي كإنسان في حياتك؟
في شخصيات كتير بظن خاصة يعني from childhood to adulthood. شخصيات قوية أظن my grandma was one person that influenced me. So basically she at the time she decided to take her portion of the inheritance when her brothers didn't want to give her that, and she went legally, took her right. So for me that was a powerful character that influenced my childhood.
ربيتي مع ستك؟
She was part of my childhood for sure. She also the last years she spent it most with my mom and with us at home. She actually at the end suffered from Alzheimer, so she was surrounded by us basically, and she was strong till the last day of her life. Yeah.
الله يرحمها يا رب.
Thank you. شكرا.
ناهد، أنت اليوم تدرسين في جامعة الفنون في لندن، UAL St Martins، صح؟
مظبوط.
أوكي. وبعد
عندك كمان.
وبوستمنستر as well.
Yeah.
وعندك شركتك الخاصة. How can you manage؟ كيف توفقين بين العمل والتدريس والبيت؟
بصراحة بحس أي حدا فيه يوازن بس يقدر يكون organize yourself really well. So I plan my week ahead. I decide which days I need to prepare for my teaching, which days I need to focus on my work. Luckily, I have a great team that is working with me, very competent. They know what they are doing. That always helps. But I think the main thing is not to think about everything at the same time. لأنه this idea might drive you crazy. So I try not to do that. I try just to focus one task at a time. وكمان of course يعني بعطي العائلة حقها والأولاد. So عندي بشتغل كتير منيح وأتمن بالمدرسة. My time is calculated very well. I try to be very efficient with my time. فبس حالة من التوازن والتنظيم.
وشنو اللي أقرب لقلبك ناهد؟ يعني التدريس في الجامعة ولا العمارة والهندسة والتصميم؟
بصراحة كل ما أكون ب-environment بحس إنه this is my environment. لما أكون بالتدريس بكون هيك I'm enjoying it. لما بشوف الطلاب عم بيتعلموا شيء ما كانوا بيعرفوه فبحب هاي العلاقة بين الطالب والأستاذ. بحس it's give and take. فبحس I had really great tutors. وبذكر لما كنت طالبة كيف ميز مين عم بيعطي من قلبه ومين is enjoying it. So I try to remember this feeling while I'm giving, and I try to be as much patient as I can with the students. فبحب كتير جو التدريس. ما بحس إنه فيني give this away مع إنه that will help me maybe have less to do. بس it's something I really enjoy. والعمارة what I'm doing بالمكتب كمان هذا واحد من أحلامي من صغري إنه يكون عندي my own office. So it is something I really enjoy as well. بس بحاول يعني أعمل توازن بين الاثنين قدر المستطاع.
طيب هذا فهمناه. لكن كيف دخلتي دراسة دكتوراه في وسط هذا كله؟ أخذتي دكتوراه متى؟
2019. So it was actually a long process. So I started 2011. Somehow during my PhD years I managed to have 2 kids as well. So أنا دائما كان عندي طموح إنه أفتح مكتبي المعماري الخاص. بس I always thought this is something will come later in life. It came a bit earlier than I thought. I think motherhood pushed me towards opening my own office a bit earlier than I thought, because it gave me the flexibility of time. I could organize myself the way I like it. I couldn't commit to an office, and I really wanted to work and be a productive person. So opening the office was a very logical decision for me. So doctorat كانت a long journey, as you know. And it just made sense that I couldn't do it full time because I had motherhood, and also I opened the office, and I thought like the research. When I do a research, when I read a book, I needed some time of that. مشان الأفكار تختمر مثل ما بيقولوا. It needed time. So in the meantime, I was working also. So it just made sense to have different elements actually in play. I never thought of it as okay, I'm doing this and doing that. I don't overwhelm myself with thinking that. I just go with the flow basically. That's what I do.
جميل. واستمتعتي بتجربة الدكتوراه؟ how was it؟
بصراحة تجربة الدكتوراه هو كان هاجس من طفولتي. فبابا كان ياخدنا على الشام القديمة نحن صغار كتير. I was fascinated by the old town of Damascus لأنه it's full of colors and patterns. The houses look so humble and simple from the outside, but when you go in, it's full of patterns, it's full of life. There's water, there's a greenery. ودائما نحن كنا نعيش بالmodern part of the city. So لما نرجع على modern part, I felt like there was disconnection between the two parts of the city. I didn't understand why this beauty hasn't been taken forward. So when I decided to do the PhD, this was the idea that inspired me, to take the traditional architecture that's very rich that is mathematically based, very innovative and creative and inspiring, really, and to take it forward. I didn't know how, but I knew I wanted to do that. So I really enjoyed the research. It was something I am passionate about it.
فأخذت العناصر القديمة والتقليدية الجميلة في الشام ونقلتها في دراستك.
ايه مزبوط. وكان the good thing إنه I had that experience in زاح حديد. هلا someone look at زاح حديد architecture and my research will think they are so much apart, but actually I was inspired a lot from what I learned working with her, because it's all computational design and parametric design, and I found those concepts are very strong in the architecture, the traditional architecture of Damascus and the architecture of the Islamic world. So I found actually a link between the two, and as I said when I mentioned about the portfolio, I always like to mix between tradition and modern, contemporary. So I feel like we always need to look at the past while we are looking at the future. So my PhD was driven in this sense. So everything I tried to do was analyzing the past, but also using the tools that I learned, and just take this architecture to the future, basically, because I feel we can, and that will make our cities have more identity and the people feel more related to the local architecture.
طيب ناهد، مكتب انجي architecture شو يشتغل؟ شنو المشاريع اللي تسوونها؟ who's the team؟
مكتبي focusing on two things right now. Focusing on the UK market, on the houses. So right now we are doing newly built 2 houses in Wimbledon. My team is we are 5 people right now. So my team have a mix of international experience with UK-based experience. Some of them are registered in the ARB. Some of them, one of them is actually interested in sustainability as well. So we have that on board as well. So I'm very interested in like making nice homes in the UK, but at the same time,
So there are homes that have been built already?
These will be like the ones before I did the design and somebody else carried on, but this 2 houses in Wimbledon will be my first, like from start to finish. Right now there's a contractor on site, and I'm going through finishing up stage 4 and starting stage 5, which is construction documents. So I will invite you again when they are finished.
I'd love to.
Yeah, inshallah. I also like to think internationally and globally. So I worked on several concept designs. Some clients like from Dubai, but different locations. Right now I'm working in a project very close to Baghdad. It's a marketing suite, 3 floors, and it's not very big but not very small at the same time. But we are experimenting with vault idea and patterns, but looking at the local like materials and environment, architecture, language, but also trying to present it in a modern way. So a bit following from my niche in architecture, if you want. It's a very interesting project. And we just finished the concept design, and hopefully after a few weeks we'll start the next phase of it. So now everything is through Zoom, and I feel like you can be based in London, but you can more than ever, I mean, in architecture, like from my work at Zaha, we always were based in London, working in other countries, and you always have local architects helping you with the regulations. But now more than ever, I feel like this idea has been very normalized. Everybody expecting Zoom, so I'm doing a lot of Zoom meetings across the world, basically. I feel like I'm very lucky with the people that are working with me right now. I've worked with them before, and now they have joined me, and like we have a kind of very good understanding. Who has the strong skill, we rely on him or her, basically. So this is for now.
And what are your objectives for the future? الأهداف التي تريدين أن تحققينها في المرحلة القادمة؟
المرحلة القادمة عم فكر هلا إنه مو بس بدي أركز على الاركيتكتشر. I want to focus also on products design. So عندي كتير أفكار من ال PhD هلا عم نشتغل عليها art pieces أو furniture pieces inspired from my PhD basically. كمان I'm thinking maybe we have to go through few competitions, so I'm looking into few competitions as well, and basically finishing up this 2 houses in Wimbledon. It's high on my list basically.
ممتاز، كل التوفيق ناهد.
شكرا كثير لك.
شكرا حبيبتي.
شكرا.